Hey guys, thanks for coming. Uh, it's another episode of In the Studio with myself, Chris Arneson, and our host running chat, Elena. And tonight's episode, I think I called it "Love and Monsters Valentine-o-ween," something. um, I was going to show you some Dungeon Denizens that I finished up and show you the image that I finished up from the last episode. And I was thinking I'm probably going to hold off on those, maybe, till partway into the show while people come in and get home from work and jump onto the show. Um, So tonight I've got another 11 by 15 water sheet of watercolor paper, and I think I might, do some messy-ish mixed media, something. Um, Not straight up ink, maybe ink and some pencil. Um, Maybe some markers, Copic markers or not. I never use those, and I've got some, but we'll see. So anyway, I think I'll probably start drawing something. So at least something's going on here other than me talking. And I gotta try and watch. For some reason, this table seems shakier than usual. But yeah, stick around, stay tuned, and I'll show some of my finished color Dungeon Denizens for Goodman Games, soon to be kickstarted upcoming Dungeon Denizens book with 500 or over 500 monsters, which I need to pick up my pace because I'm way behind from what I feel I should be. So, all right, well, let's see what's going to come out here. Figured since there's plenty of people that seem to enjoy Halloween, and I've seen a number of calls for a second Halloween and instead of Valentine's Day. And I thought that might be appropriate, but we'll see here. And I haven't done any workups or anything, so this is all just I kind of had sort of ideas in my head, but so does anybody in chat have any big plans for Halloween?
No, not yet, at least.
No. Well, I don't either. It's been quite a while. So I used to enjoy it more. I used to have a reason, but I'm probably settling in with most of the other people. Let's see. I watched a movie earlier this week on Amazon Prime that I I thought it was a pretty good older movie called War Gods of the Deep, I think. Also, is also called City Under the Sea or something. It's a Vincent Price movie. Um, it was actually not bad for what it was. I had enjoyed the set design and stuff, and yeah, let me know if I'm end up going off the paper or off the screen. Not off the paper. I think I'll notice if I go off the paper, but
I would hope so.
hopefully I haven't been drinking beforehand, so
We have
that should
uh
happen.
we have someone in chat. Xerxes Co says, "Does posting stupid memes on Facebook count as plans for Halloween?" And I would say yes, yes they do. Sorry that it took me forever to get to your comment. I was busy looking up because before the show we were talking about old Christmas movies. I don't know why we were talking about old Christmas movies. You reminded me of something. What did you say that got us on that topic?
What did I say?
Oh, movies about before that came out before my time. It was a
Oh yeah,
John Cusack movie we were talking about.
Better Off Dead.
Yeah, Better Off Dead. And yes, while I have not seen that movie, and yes, it was before I was born, I do watch. I was trying to validate the fact that I do like old movies. Ghosty Squid, I'm not answering that question. It's really rude to ask a lady her age. No, I'm kidding. For those who don't know, I'm pretty young. I'm a youngin. I'm in my late 20s. But anyway, the we were talking for because I was feeling high on my high horse, you know, like Napoleon.
Hmm.
I I was trying to figure out what the heck kind of movie I was talking about how at Christmas time my grandmother we got into talking about watching movies on TV. And TCM is great. Not sponsored, by the way, but TCM is great because they have their commercials after the movies and
If
before the movies, not
they want to
during.
sponsor us, we're okay with
I
that.
would love for them to sponsor us, but we are not sponsored. And I have to say that because TOS and YouTube rules tell me that if I mention a brand of any kind, I have to say I'm not
Sure,
sponsored. Um,
that
just to
makes sense. We don't want to get in trouble.
Exactly. They will demonetize me for trying to coerce my community or something. I don't know what the it's weird. It's a weird rule. I get why they do it because, you know, we have to say if we're sponsored because then people have to know that we are getting paid to do something,
Sure.
but we're not sponsored. Um I'm not getting paid to tell you that TCM is great. But anyway, we got to talk about TCM, and then I was talking about movies that I had watched over the holidays, and one of my favorite ones, I found it. I found it on their list. I had to do like 3 Google searches to look for it, and it's not a writer, it's a radio show host. The Man Who Came to Dinner is now one of my favorite Christmas movies. And also, It Happened on Fifth Avenue is also a really good Christmas movie. So if you're tired of The Christmas Carol, or what's the other one, Christmas Story, the one You'll Shoot Your Eye
Mm-hmm.
Out, Kid, is that the
Yep.
Christmas
Yep.
Story? Yeah. Or Home Alone, which I am A Christmas Story and Home Alone are like the 2 movies that I have despised nearly my entire life. I find them kind of annoying. I don't know. I think I just find the kids so bratty that it drives me nuts. So yeah, go back in time, watch some black and white Christmas movies, and you'll probably get a kick out of it. That's my PSA today.
Well, I was gonna say if
Sorry.
oh no, that's quite all right. If anyone's watched the and liked a Christmas movie, I saw the sequel over Christmas on HBO.
There is a
With
sequel?
it just came out this year through HBO with
Oh.
the same actors slash. um, it was actually really pretty good. Um, it, if you liked the movie, if you didn't like the movie, well, you know, you're probably not going to like this.
Yeah,
Uh,
sorry for everybody who's upset at me. That's probably a very divisive thing to say that I didn't like the movie.
there's nothing wrong with that. Where can they send their hate emails?
uh
Don't send any hate emails.
if you want to send hate emails, send it to 12345 678 at yourmom.com. So, there you go.
Oh, of course, that could be an actual address. And now you're going to be sending stuff.
Watch that actually be an email to someone and I'm going to feel terrible.
That's what I'm saying. You just like 8675309 is going to belong to someone, and
Jenny, can I get your number?
I've decided I think I'm going to scratch the idea that I mentioned to you. Just kind of keep it like this.
That's fine. Now, I need to know what this guy's name is for his initials to be LUV.
I don't know. That's what. Does anyone have any idea in chat?
Yeah, I was just about, can we
Uh-huh.
post it to chat? I'm going to
Sure.
come up with some of my own, but I want chat to figure out what is this guy's name for it to be LUV.
Absolutely.
Make chat talk to us. That's basically what it is. They're all talking about how they also liked the sequel. Aww.
Oh,
See,
poop.
this is what happens when you mess with things. All right,
I
guys.
know.
We'll be right back. Did anybody leave? I'm sorry. We consulted the wizards and they came back with a solution. We'll see if it lasts. Those wizards are a little peckish.
If you were here last season, this happened with my camera, and hasn't happened at all this last few episodes.
We were doing so well.
And I never mentioned it, but of course now it happened, and I'm wondering if it might happen again. I've got a rubber band that's holding down my autofocus on my DSLR camera that I've been using, and it's kind of a workaround. Otherwise, these cameras are set to time out because they're not meant for this. So we shall see. All right, let's do something here, get some stuff down. This is for my moon. I'll be mooning you tonight.
How rude.
Something. Let's see here. Do. Thinking I'm gonna throw in some graphite background, so we'll see if this works here. Is everyone still there?
Yep. So far, they haven't left.
You sons of. All right, so this is my fancy trick. See if it works in front of everybody. Probably gonna mess it up somehow, but there we go.
That's a pretty good moon.
The moon.
History Professor says, did he say he was going to twerk in front of everyone? No, you have to wait until Gary Con for that.
If everyone chips in enough cash, maybe. We'll have to see. That would be an awful lot.
All right, History Professor is going to hold you to the promise that I made. It's a date. You got to twerk for him.
No promises have been made.
Is there an OnlyFans link? For only $100 a month.
Just $100 a month?
Well, I mean, I was trying to make it somewhat accessible, but still kind of expensive. And something I still wouldn't pay. So, I mean, you got that. That sounded like more of an insult than it was. I'm just broke.
So if someone sent you money to
that's going right to the grocery store. What do you mean?
Let's see. Sometimes stuff just isn't. If this plan is working here, let's see. Are you not entertained?
I am. I don't know about everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Uh-oh.
I just saw OBS drop into the red and some frames dropped, but I don't know why or how.
Uh-oh. What does that mean?
It just means my CPU's probably doing a lot. I mean, I do have probably like 20 tabs of Google Chrome open right now.
Uh-huh.
A few of them could probably be destroyed, but eh,
Too many tabs open.
too many tabs.
My show deserves your computer's full attention.
Oh, it's getting it now. It's claiming that I'm using 8% of it on OBS, though. I don't know what the rest of it's being used on. Probably Google Chrome. I have the bad habit. I don't know if anybody else does this, and I'll ask Chad as well if they have the same experience as me. I have a problem with I want to watch a specific thing, and I'll watch like half of it, and then I'll pause it, and then I'll say, "Oh, I'll just come back to it later," and I open up another tab of YouTube to watch something else. And then sometimes I forget that I have another tab open of YouTube of a thing that I watched half of. And then it sits there for about 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I just get bored. It's mostly like commentary videos, like reviews, like book reviews or movie reviews or whatever that I'll have open and then decide, yes, I should probably not have this open anymore. And then I'll close it.
Sure. I will just keep them tabs open sometimes on my iPad for later reference. I'm gonna get something worked out. I'm jiggling people too much, I think. My camera, my table jiggle. Any questions?
Cersei says that I won't watch videos at all and instead will read the synopsis. Is that the same thing, right? Sometimes, if the description is actually descriptive. I also have a tendency, because I'm really into esports, I'll like look up like esports VODs or whatever. And in those esports VODs, I will in turn like pause it halfway through, and then maybe go back to it later, maybe not.
I'm trying out my electric eraser, but I don't know if I'm feeling it. We got to remember not to dilly dally too long on one part. Keep this moving for you people. You actually get to see something form. Has anybody come up with a name for this guy yet?
No, I think Chad all forgot.
That was just as the doom struck. Let's see here. The excitement going on in the chat.
No, we're just talking about our YouTube watching habits.
Yeah. Excuse me.
How dare you?
Was that caught on?
It was.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I
No,
didn't
it's
mean to. It was an
how
accident.
how dare you make a perfectly human noise?
That was from my throat, just to clarify. I know how you people like to talk. Hey, no yawning.
Sorry, I'm trying not to. It's been a long day. And I've realized that I think I've burned through all of my energy because I've only had applesauce to eat today. Oopsie.
What?
Oh no, I had a candy bar at lunch for the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got a first time chatter named Kennan saying, "What up, Chris?"
Hey, Kenan. Is that the correct pronunciation, Kenan, or is it Kenan? Or
Oh, yeah, good point.
well,
Or it could
hopefully
be
this
Kanon.
could be.
Oh, we've also got another first time chatter who's known you since you were 5, named The Ascended Ones. Hello.
Hello, nice to have you.
Oh, this is a good question. Did 5-year-old Chris paint on walls? Or draw on walls?
I don't know. Not that I remember, but at 5, I may not have remembered. Let's see. I might break out some ink. As I mentioned before, earlier in the show, I was thinking this might be mixed media. So we'll see. Hopefully, I can do this without messing anything up. Sure, we're still on screen. Oops. Then we got 6:35. Yeah, maybe in 15 minutes, somewhere like that. I'll take a break and maybe show the some of the dungeon denizens that I was talking about.
A part of me kind of wants this as a tattoo.
Uh huh.
I'm liking that crow. That crow's pretty sick.
I don't know what it is. It's a crow dragon thingy something.
Oh, yeah, I can kind of see that. Haha, the Ascended ones gave it a name, a pterodactygon. Ugh, I have a hard time speaking.
I can see that.
You know, it's an ailment that is persistent and consistent throughout these shows.
And a resort to making noises.
Honestly, making noises and talking to yourself is a sign that you are not crazy in my eyes.
Yeah, good. I don't have cats either, so.
Oh, oh man, did I hit the
Yeah.
trifecta of craziness then? I have 3 cats, and I talk to myself.
Well, I think that's all right. I'm referring to I don't, so that
Oh,
might mean that, you know,
that you are crazy?
sure, possible. Well, hopefully I can get this one about finished for tonight. That would be kind of nice. Actually, get something done.
And then actually send me something for thumbnails.
Hey, now I got you those other two.
You did, you did. I haven't put them in yet because I came home and immediately hopped on for the stream.
That's why. That's why I wasn't in such a big rush. Well, had I gotten them to you when I said I would have, maybe you would have gotten them up. But I got distracted, and
Nah, it's no biggie.
that's what I figured. I've got music going in the background, and I don't haven't listened to it too much in a long time, and I've got it louder than I have been having the music. And I'm not really a singer, but I know the old Iron Maiden songs, which is what's playing, and I'm trying not to forget that I'm on camera and sing something to myself or hum.
I think you can get away with humming. Humming probably doesn't do anything.
Scare away people and myself.
Matt joined in. Says, I want to hear Chris belt it out.
Mm-hmm.
I have, speaking of music, I don't know if this is good or bad, but I have gotten my professor who runs the alt rock section of our school radio channel on Fridays
Uh-huh.
um, to now play Falling in Reverse, possibly Emery. He's got to find some songs he likes on there, and Starset. And I'm pretty proud of that because I'm slowly turning our campus radio into a station that I like.
Nice. Yeah, I think I remember you mentioning Starset before.
In my top 5. I can't wait until they come to PA again for a concert. I'm either going to work it so I can see the show for free from the sidelines, or I'm going to buy tickets and go see them anyway.
Uh-huh. Maybe I'll try and finish up this guy and pull out some of the dungeon denizens that I'm sure some of you are waiting to see.
Cersei says, so he's going to twerk and sing? That's an impressive skill set.
Uh-huh. That's just the half of it. Brush is getting stinkier. How many people we got in there? 1,000?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, that's what I'm figuring. Do. How do I want to do this?
Kennan's asking if you're planning on going to Gary Con.
I will be there. I was lucky enough to be asked to do this year's convention illustration, I guess. I'm assuming this is where this is going. Um, so yeah, you'll be able to get a T-shirt with the illustration I did for Gary Con and whatnot, and if you so choose, if you don't even have to be there, you can go to Gary Con's website. Uh, they've got merchandise section, and there you go. You can do that. Trying to whip out this pterodactyl thingamajigger. Is Kenan going? Did we ever get a answer, Keenan?
We are waiting on that.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming by the fact that he said sweet to your answer, I'm going to assume yes.
I thought so. I believe I met him last year. He's in if it's the Kenan that I met and follow on Facebook, he's an incredibly talented artist. Much better than myself, if I don't mind saying. And there we go. We're going to have one of those nights.
All right. We'll be right back once we get this fixed again. The wizards must be
I'll try to
consulted.
hurry.
Hello. We're back.
Dang poltergeists. I hope you're all entertained by my little break thing that we have up.
That one was you accidentally summoned a demon.
Well, that can happen.
Yeah, I've seen it. I forgot to mute and took a sip of water. You guys all just heard my ice slosh back into my cup. I'm sorry.
Oh man. So is anyone on there waiting to see Dungeon Denizens or?
I think everybody is just waiting for the Kickstarter to start.
Mm-hmm.
Matt says he's definitely waiting.
All right. Let me tweak this guy a little more, and then I'll pull out some Dungeon Denizens to show the world. And I'm gonna have to start listening to Iron Maiden more again while I'm not on camera, like wanting to sing. I know the words. Falling into that trance mode.
As one does.
Any good stories going on there in Chatland?
No, but Xerxes is saying I am pro Chris singing while creating an online or while creating online live would probably beat Rihanna's show yesterday at the Super Bowl. We do have a question from NWI Dungeon Crawler. Do you find when you ink over graphite that the ink rubs off?
um, I generally don't do it. I've done it a couple of times, so I don't think I've noticed it on the other times I've tried it. So I guess that would be a no. But yeah. So I don't know if it's theoretically a no or anything like that, but generally I don't do it. Um, but I don't think, like I said, that I've noticed an issue.
We've we've got Ghosty Squid in the chat saying I came for denizens but stayed for the twerking.
Well, don't rush off. If I'll get to those in a minute. I don't want to disappoint anybody. And nobody came up with an acronym for this guy, this poor fellow.
Nope.
All right, we'll take a quick break here, and I'll show you some dungeon denizens. that all right? Is everybody happy? Before I do that, I'll show you, excuse me, the finished version of last episode's creation. So, last episode, I just barely started filling in this little gnome character guy. Um, and today I spent about an hour or so and finished him up, did a little more details and stuff. Um, you guys are seeing it on a bit of an angle. I don't know if that's a little better. Not if it's not in the picture. But so yeah, that's that all finished up. I got about 90% of this done in that one episode. This was all started from scratch, drawn and then shaded with graphite and details put in and stuff. So yeah. Um, and I finished up the last few lines on the Dungeon Master and Venger illustration. As I mentioned before, I may go back and do some more details, maybe some shading with ink, and maybe do something with color. I don't know. We'll see. So I may come back to this at some point. But yeah, one of my favorite cartoons from the 80s, Dungeons and Dragons, Venger and Dungeon Master. All right, let's see what we got over here now. So one of the things I've been doing is to try and save some time is working on some oil paper that I can actually print my sketch on to use as a underpainting. And I'm not a big fan of textured, but this isn't too bad of a, it's a slighter canvas texture, but this is a Winsor Newton oil and acrylic, so it's ready to go. The paper's thin enough for me to run through my stinky printer. Um, and yeah, then I paint right on this. So here's a sample of that, of what I do, if I can. Um, I took this sketch. This is for Dark Tower. I took the sketch. I think I tinted it a little bit and adjusted the tones somewhat. And I'll use this as an underpainting. So I can use glazes. I can use opaque, go opaque with it, but I've got a good guide. I don't have to retrace it, redraw it on there. Because if I'm not good at drawing directly on the paper and everything being centered and good. And so, yeah, I don't work that way. So I've got to do the sketch, scan it, print it off or trace whatever I got to do, and then paint over it. So this is one for Dark Tower that's going to be coming up too. This is another one for Dark Tower. I finished painting this guy up this last week. He's a monk, I guess. So this is oils, same thing, over a toned printout. This is the weirdest one I've done, probably the most DCC-ish. If you follow them, this was probably not how I would have painted this thing, but at their direction, it's looking really dark on there. At least on my screen. Is this all looking black on your screen? Or can you see the real purple?
It's a little dark, but that's just OBS doing OBS things.
I get my.
There's in the chat they say they can see all the colors like it's an oil slick. Oh god, that was a little too much.
Is that too much or is that better?
And that's better. That's fine.
Okay. So yeah, yeah. So it was described color wise as a kind of oil slick like with a really funky purples for this alchemist ooze. So yeah, uh, different, a little bit color wise out of my wheelhouse, but hopefully it everyone will like it. This was another ooze. This was on a different canvas, textured canvas paper that was too textured for me, but I don't. This is Tangle Ankle Jelly Ooze. Little long name, a little hard to pronounce. And then we've got some frog folk that were a lot of fun. I actually had these done last year. These guys were, this was one of my favorites. I love this big brute guy. This was a croaker or something, I believe. And this one, the way it was described, I think had the fitting as a one of those, super bright, rainforest type frogs. Can't remember what this one's called, but that was a fun one. Here is kind of a zombie frog folk, another fun one. And this was Frost Hag. This was the first one I did, and this was on a different oil color paper. I think it was Arches. This has a rougher texture, and it's kind of a chalky finish, so it kind of sucked the paint up, and it was too thick for me to run through my printer. So this one I did trace it onto the paper and then paint it in mostly opaque oils, but I think that might be it. Oh, this is the one that I started. I tried to do on our first episode. This was on some paper, Strathmore paper that I had just primed with a gesso and then traced it on. So this doesn't have an underpainting print for my sketch. Um, I think I showed you guys this in one of the next episode finished or something. But so yeah, those are what I've got done so far for Dungeon Denizens. I think I've got oh about 7 to 10 approved, waiting for me to get my act together to paint them. But yeah, so that's what's going on there.
Everyone is loving your color choices and the art in general.
They look much better than I'm sure they do on the screen. I say that because I'm picky. Let's get back to this guy.
We also finally have a name for the headstone.
Oh,
88 Riddles posted Leonard Ulrich Vorhees as the name.
uh-huh. Makes sense. Is that a winner? How's everyone feel about that?
I'm voting yay.
Throw some ink wash in here. So if you weren't here earlier, this is I'm working on I think it's Kansan watercolor paper. And right now I switched over to some ink washing. Zoning out again. Zoning out. Says I'm zoning out.
It's okay, I kind of was too.
Gotta expect that from this show.
Sometimes we get entranced.
Mm-hmm.
Someone likened this to Edgar Allan Poe's Raven Gone Dark.
Sure. More water in there than I wanted. 'Hopefully everyone's enjoying the spectacle.
88 Riddles, we are going to be at Gen Con. Goodman Games is pretty much always there, unless for some reason, it gets canceled, like it did in the year we don't speak about. Um, I believe Chris, will you be going to Gen Con as well?
Yes, I'll have a booth there.
Sick.
So come on down, buy everything, or just say hi. I don't mind people saying hi.
Or both.
Both?
Yeah. Come say hi, then decide to buy everything on the last day.
Sure. Hmm.
Ooh, 88 riddles. You'll have to come say hello to us and wave. I won't be at Chris's booth most of the time, but I'll be around and it'd be awesome if you get a booth there. I believe.
What's that?
88 riddles is saying they might have a booth for next year's Gen Con.
Oh, for Gen Con, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to that or not. I haven't heard anything, so but it was certainly enjoyable last year to see a lot of people and stuff. Hmm.
Yeah, last year was my first Gen Con, and I will have to say it was very overwhelming for the first time ever being there because it is massive. It is a huge convention.
Mm-hmm.
Plan on good walking shoes, 88 Riddles. If this is your first year at Gen Con, plan on some good walking shoes because holy crap, you're gonna need them.
Yeah, I'm kind of like this guy. Yeah, sometimes I just never know something's going to be interesting and how it's going to come out. You got another show to run after this one, or what
No,
you?
it was gonna be keep crawling tonight, but one of the hosts got sick, so I'm not gonna force them to speak when they've got crud going on. It's no fun.
I appreciate you letting me slide last week. Sorry, folks, for that.
Oh, we've got a thanks to Zersico, we've got a another good suggestion for you to do sometime. Edgar Allan Poe goes Manticore.
Ah, Manticore. It took me a second to think of what that was.
You know, it's kind of funny. I know I'd seen pictures of manicores before, but I didn't really know what a manicore was until I was probably like 18 or 19. Even though I'd seen
Uh
pictures, I
huh.
don't think I'd ever seen them named.
Sure.
I am thinking of it right. It's the lion head, like four-legged eagle-ish body and like a lizard tail. Or am I thinking
Some,
of a or is that a chimera that I'm thinking of?
I just know it's something sort of like that. All the different things, tails and heads. I don't always remember exactly.
It's a scorpion tail, not a lizard tail. Thank you, 88 Riddles.
That sounds about right. Silence. Oh man. All right. I think we must have the poltergeist. I'm gonna call. We got something going on in here.
Who are you gonna call?
Mm-hmm. And this is just this heart's not accurate, so don't get any ideas.
It's accurate enough.
That's what I figured. So yeah, at this point, I think my camera's just timing out on its own, being a little brat because the show seems to be doing better, liking what I'm achieving here. I think.
Soontide one says the heart does not need to be accurate, it just needs to tell a tale. I'm a big Edgar Allan Poe fan. For like, if you guys if you guys keep referencing Edgar Allan Poe, it's making my little like literature nerd heart very happy.
If you're all having fun, that makes me happy.
88 Riddles. I have not read a lot of Clive Barker. Um, that is now on my list of to be read. I don't know when I'll get to it, but it's on the list now. He referenced the Hellbound Heart.
Uh huh. I can't say that I'm familiar with that. Well, I'm sadly I'm not a big reader, so and Clive Barker would probably not be in my queue. Sorry to say, but hey, that's quite all right.
How dare you, Scottish Jeff, for being late? So terrible.
Oh, that's there it is. We can blame him for all our trouble.
Yeah, it's because he wasn't here. He didn't give us the good juju.
That's that's it. We're blaming it on him.
But good luck on your AD&D game for in April. That'll definitely be fun.
Switch brushes, I think. Something different. Yeah.
Ghosty Squid poses a good question. How often did Leonard get rejected while holding his heart in his hand?
It's a good question. Probably more than he would have liked.
Another question posed to you. Do you have a color palette already in your head when you start your pieces, or does it sort of just evolve organically as you progress through it?
Um, most oftentimes I'd say things kind of progress a bit as I work through them. As far as the dungeon denizens go, I mean, if I'm told it's got to be a crazy purple, then I got to dig around and see what kind of crazy purple I have or have to mix. But wise, yeah, I just I get an idea and then work with it as I go. Now, obviously, if something calls for a specific color, um, I'll go with what's been called out.
Another question, a little more on the silly side. Who manicures your nails because they look so good?
I got to remember to clean them before the show. Looking at them, I got some dirt back in them.
Now you've made him nervous. Look at what you did, Cersei.
Mm-hmm.
Scottish Jeff says he expects you to have painted nails next session.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. Probably not going to happen. All right, let's see here.
Soontide recommends purple if you do, though.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm in favor of the purple.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Scottish Jeff says black nails with a little guy liner on the eyes.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Ghosty Squid then says, "Can you coordinate the nail polish color into the palette you're working for painting?"
Sure, we can do anything.
I'm loving this. This is why I love Twitch chat. Y'all people be crazy.
Crazy people.
There's also Dead Finger Blue.
Dead finger blue, interesting. Trying to whip this stuff in as fast as I can here. Went outside the line. That's it. It's over.
That's like the one thing you're not supposed to do, Chris.
I know. Oh, let's see. Is this the best thing you've ever seen, everybody? Feel free to lie.
No, I hate
Okay.
it. Now we've got people in the chat saying they like it. 88 Riddles really likes the texturing that you've done with the wash on it.
Thank you.
Your mom 1979 says your work is mesmerizing. What kind of music inspires you while working?
Um, right now it's Iron Maiden. Oftentimes I use uh, I'll sometimes have movies playing in the background or whatnot. Um, Actually, sometimes I don't even listen to music. Just just have movies or something going on in the background. Um, the Dungeons and Dragons cartoons, as I've mentioned before, I will actually play them in the background while I'm working on some of these dungeon denizens. Kind of give me some inspiration. So, was this fitting for Valentine's?
I think so.
Now, I initially I was talking about I was gonna have Gossamer from the Bugs Bunny cartoon. If anybody remembers him, that's the big red furry Valentine heart looking creature. I was initially gonna put him in here, but I liked what was coming out and didn't feel I needed it or wanted to put him in there. Might have made it a little too cartoony. I mean, this is fun and whatnot, but I wish I could work like this on my projects, but I get too caught up in trying to make things perfect. I don't instead of just having fun with it. Not that I don't enjoy what I do, but yeah, sometimes something like this is it's just fun. Um, Less stressful, and you know, if it works out, it can be pretty enjoyable. What I want to know is where the heck TSW is tonight.
I know, right?
TSW.
I can forgive Jeff for being late. He was busy making characters for a game, but TSW has no reason.
Uh-huh. And work doesn't count.
Right? I'm
Exactly.
working right now and I'm here. Oh, wait.
Exactly.
TSW says I'm here, lay off. Oh, I love it. So Scottish Jeff, I've forgotten the crow's name. If somebody could give me a refresher in the chat on what the crow's name was. But this tombstone, the LUV, is Leonard Ulrich Vorhees.
Poor Leonard.
Jason doesn't start with an L. Scottish Jeff, duh. Or 88 Riddles. Yeah, there was the other one. Lucky Undead Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
TSW says your freaking awesome artwork rendered me speechless.
Well, I don't have enough money to pay you for that compliment, so
All right, the crow was a pterodactyl.
okay, yeah.
That's what we were calling it. It's not a crow, it's a pterodactyl. Ugh, I can't even say it. I can't say it fast. That's just what it is.
It's a good thing I don't see it or have to try and say it.
Oh, I could type it in Zoom chat and make you look.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna look. Well, I see there is one chat thing. I can't even look at that. So if there whatever was in there, I'm not even catching that.
That's why I'm here. In case you guys were wondering, that's the only reason you hear me is because I'm the chat messenger.
And so that I don't have to talk the whole time. She helps relieve me of the pressure of speaking.
Yeah, that's fair.
I live alone. I don't talk that much. I work on pictures.
You need a cat, then you'll
I
talk more.
have a couple of squirrels I visit.
That's true. How are
Uh,
your squirrels doing?
that visit me. I don't visit them. Well,
I don't. Do you even know where
my
they live?
brain doesn't work when I'm trying to focus.
How are your squirrels doing?
So far, so good. I haven't seen my favorite one for a couple of days,
Oh no.
um, but that seems to be kind of a normal thing. Um,
maybe she found herself someone else who's given her some peanuts.
could be. Sorry for my fast twirling action.
Ah, it's fine. Just don't do it that often.
Don't tell me what to do.
Oh, I'm telling you.
It might be one of my favorite ones that I've done. kind of digging how it's coming out. Gonna bring out some highlights, I think. This works. I think cleaning up some of my sketch lines.
It's funny that you're cleaning those up because we can't even see them now that the ink's down. You can see them, but we cannot.
Yeah. Well, what I see is you know better than what you see, so I feel kind of bad. But
It's fine. We still think it's awesome.
thank you.
Also, we've got Cersei in the chat saying it's a Bob Ross vibe here. Happy little undead and happy little broken hearts.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, I hope everybody's Valentine Ween tomorrow will be nice or whatever you want out of it. Peaceful, quiet, fun, whatever. And hopefully you get to enjoy this Valentine Ween. I think that might be pretty close. Well, what's the consensus?
I think, uh, myself included, as I've watched this whole thing, we all say we like it.
Well, you dang well better. Over here putting my heart and soul into this stuff for you people. Well, I greatly appreciate everybody showing up and putting up with my and its little fiascos. But yeah, this was actually a fun one. I actually enjoy the pterodactyl crow, whatever the name is. I don't have it in front of me, so I can't see. Don't don't give me too much trouble. I was debating. I did bring a marker. I was debating if I put red in the eye. Do I dare try and put some red in there?
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Scan it first, then do that so you don't hate it later.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. I was debating if it would make it pop or if it would be like, yeah.
Ooh, Soontide says a good one too. If you do that, you could put a little bit of red on the heart to make it pop out too. Kind of match the two.
Mm-hmm. Well, there we go. We got a little Valentine's love. We got a little Halloween creepiness. I think this is DCC-ish. Maybe a hint of Bernie Wrightson, though not to his standards or quality, but I think it's successful.
Aw, Big Bowed Matt says one more thing. Will you be his Valentine?
How much money does he have?
Smart man right there. As
10 bucks,
my
I'm yours.
10 bucks. As my uncle said to me many years ago, and it's the best advice ever. Make sure your man is hot. That he's got a house, he's or housing, he's got occupation, and he's got transportation.
Well, luckily he didn't specify artists, but maybe he did, and you're being nice not to say so.
Big Bald Met says he can afford your $10.
Oh, awesome. All right. I might be calling this one. All right. Yeah. I could whittle details and nice to get some moss or whatnot on the headstone.
One more thing. Matt says, will you accept the $10 in pizza?
Of course. I can
Did you
never
even
turn
have to
down
ask?
pizza. Pizza's my middle name. Unfortunately, it's not carrot. Yeah, I was even thinking of doing some dry brushing on this, initially, but you know, that's how what I like when I don't have any pressure and we just go with the flow of this thing. So, oh well, I guess I need to sign it. I didn't do the. Did
You
screw
gotta
that
do
up.
the Chris Arneson thing.
I'll screw that up here. Just a tiny little A.
I kind of like that it looks like a piece of grass.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite illustrators, Michael Whalen, always put his signing of his initials, the cool little icon. He put it into rocks, so it looks kind of like embossed in the rocks in the background or things like that. He always did a real cool job. It's always fun to look for it. It stood out pretty easily, but it's still
When,
fun to look for.
like, once you figured out what it kind of would look like, you'd be able to
Mhm.
catch it.
Oh
That is
yeah.
a cool Easter egg kind of thing though to do.
Hmm. He didn't hide it too much, but it wasn't like just a signature. Like I said, like if he had stonework, he would make it embossed and stuff. For me, I get too lazy by the time I get that far and I'm done. I'm like, oh, that's right, I gotta sign it. I used to actually sign like a line with the A and put in Arneson along the top of the A line, but I got to the point like I can't. I don't want to do all that work. I gotta simplify this and just do an A. So
I can't blame you, to be honest. Put so much stuff into your work that you're just like, oh, I gotta do one more.
uh-huh. Yep. Well, I don't know
Is
what
that
else
it?
we can do.
Is that it then?
I,
Are we
I
done?
think I think we're at a good point. I
Are we
don't
getting
know what
kicked out?
I'm going to do anything. I'm wondering if something else was going to kick us out, but it's been behaving,
Yeah.
so I don't
You're gonna
know
say that and it's gonna do it in like 2 minutes.
exactly. So just be prepared, people, because I might just be cut.
Oh. Nice try.
Uh-huh.
What's that saying at bars? You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Scottish Chef suggests slap the camera, see if it shuts off. Let's not hurt the
Um,
camera, alright?
it's not gonna hurt it. Nobody's gonna. There's gonna be no camera, you know, battery or anything. Well, I think this was a successful, fun, simple one. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And I hope it fit DCC's brand line enough, as I am being hosted by Goodman Games on their Twitch channel, which I very much appreciate. Um, and I've got to get back to some Dungeon Denizens and some Dark Tower color figures as well. And I guess what, we'll see you next Monday. All right. As long as you behave, we'll see you next Monday.
Have a good night, everybody. See ya.
See you guys.